that the punchline here is that it matters whether you implement a policy that are locally suitable or not. That the more suitability it is, the more sort of growth for the industry it generates. Okay. Now centralization is going to potentially decrease that. So here's one stylized example. Before the wind farms were becoming a centrally endorsed policy, this was a policy that was being locally devised, locally initially invented. So in fact, Gansu was the local governments who invented the policy, who want to very largely incentivize local wind farm. And there's a reason for that. The Gansu was in the region where there's a lot of endowment for natural endowment for wind, and Gansu should develop wind farms and so on. Okay? But you see sort of a couple of years later, after the central government endorsed and wanted this policy to become a national policy and part of the centralization movement, you see many other localities, especially in the inland region of China, where there's no wind endowment, start to develop wind farms and adopting this policy. And that's part of what I mean by not suitable policies, where it's the exact same industrial policy that's being implemented, but it should have implemented Gansu. It should have been implemented in the western part of China where there is wind. It should not be implemented in the central part of China where there's not too much wind at all. Okay? You in fact see this overall that when a policy is becoming centrally endorsed by central government that push more localities to adopt it, there is a notable reduction in the overall suitability of the locality who adopt the policy to the local conditions. Okay, so it was suitable when it first was invented, but the centralization was really pushing the policy towards places that are not necessarily suitable. And to the extent that less suitable places adopting the exact same policy benefit a lot less from the same policy, this can be damaging for the economic development. And also think about sort of the opportunity cost, that you could have implemented other policies that are more suitable, but now you're implementing a lot higher share of the policies that are not necessarily suitable to the local conditions. China was decentralized, it became re-centralized and very rapidly re-centralized, and that seems to have a pretty dramatic economic cost because of a lot of policies that would have been effective if this goes to the right place are no longer so, and that's damaging the overall economic growth opportunity.